gals, we're filming our latest project and we're working on a Maleficent cosplay. Currently we are working on the horns. We've tried a few different methods which have been kind of ups and downs, hasn't worked out so great. So we're trying another method, which is sculpting them out of paper clay. So we're going to kind of see how this goes, and you're going to get to actually see the whole process in action. So the materials, just so you're aware of what we're using, in case you're curious, we're going to start off with wire for the frame for the horns, which we have a wire coat hanger. Then what we're going to do is form the actual inside of the shape out of tinfoil to keep it lightweight, and also give it the base shape that we're going to want in the actual curve of the horns. You can also see what we've got here is a variety of other tools to help us out. We've got sculpting tools. I have a bunch of other tinfoil that I want to reuse. Some hand tools for clipping the wire and whatnot. Obviously aluminum foil, and then the paper clay, which we're going to use for the outside of the horns to do all the detailing. So if you decide to recreate this for yourself, a good thing to keep in mind is having a bowl of water. Water is a really great tool when you're sculpting because it keeps your hands clean if you're going to use them to sculpt, as well as it can help you manipulate the material. Other than that, I think it's pretty much just go time, and we're going to kind of see where we go with it. So is there anything you want to
Yeah, you're definitely going to get to see quite a bit of use of tools here. Obviously starting out with the coat hanger and how you would possibly straighten it out, snip off the little parts we don't want to use, and then Jack here will probably do the bending.
Yeah.
Other than that, other tools you're going to use are just general scalpels and shaping tools. You're going to get to see that. It's going to be a little bit slow. It's going to be fast. So we're gonna double it up on the speed here. Once we get the ball rolling, we'll let you know when.
Now we're getting started with the project, and remember, kids, safety first, which is why I'm wearing my glasses. If I weren't, I'd be wearing safety glasses. So now we'll get started on getting everything rolling. So come here, I need you to undo the hanger.
Normally I would be wearing safety glasses, but they're out in the shop and I'm lazy. So I'm just gonna hold this away. So it does get really springy. So as opposed to going through and trying to straighten out all this windy crap that they do under a heat treat, I'll just clip it off right now. Thank you.
Somebody else can hold it too, so that way it doesn't go flying at your face.
We'll do the other side.
And you're going to want to half the coat hanger iron, as long as you are certain that it's going to be enough length, because you're obviously making two horns. Or in our case, we're making two horns.
Okay, you want to have this?
Yeah.
Good?
And just, yep, right there.
So that was a bit of a sharp spot. Muscles!
Yeah, I don't think you could get much more perfect than that, even for eyeballing it. Alright, so now what we're going to do, the important thing is whenever you're working on a project like this, especially for something so exact, you're going to want a reference picture. So usually I keep my phone with me and I'll research reference pictures just to make sure that I've got the right idea. And you want to make sure you have plenty with different angles so you can see how, in this case the horns are going to lay, which direction that they're curving in, all of that important stuff. It's really important to consider for something that you want to be super accurate. If you don't really mind, then it's no big deal. You can also reference animal horns, which is something else that I did. I looked up antelope horns, and those are pretty close to what hers are like. That gives you an idea of the texture and everything later on. But for this, we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna try and bend it and see what we get. So start here.
Again, if at any point you see us fast forward, that usually means that the process went a little slow. We don't want you to suffer through that, because we are human beings and we do understand feelings.
The being human beings thing is somewhat arguable.
If you hear any background music, there's probably, at this point, Japanese rock playing in the back. You're probably going to hear different snippets here and there.
So you can just keep cross-referencing your horns in the curve and make sure that it's exactly where you're going to want it. You want them to be as close to each other as possible. And that's the whole point, because you want to get them somewhat identical. But there is a rule of thumb that I often tell people: you want sisters, not twins. Nothing is going to be exact. So just do the absolute best that you can do, and you'll get. I think that just about does it for these. But then I say that and I always see something else I could do different.
Yeah. Hear a little baby crying in the background.
Yeah, probably.
Careful, there's a little bitty lion with a palm tree on its tail. Just scared itself. This is Gunslinger. And Nyx is over in the windowsill. I'm sure you'll see her eventually.
Okay, that looks pretty good. The rest, I'm going to adjust and change with tinfoil, and basically what we're going to do is take these and wrap them in tinfoil. What I may do is actually end up using a model head to plant them and then put the foil around them. Kind of holds it for me, makes it a lot easier, so I'm not picking them up and putting them down so much. So we'll kind of see what we get out of that.
Pick things up and I'll put them down.
Yeah.
Introduction of Gunther.
Yep, this is Gunther. He's my model head.
He's your male model head.
Yes, he is.
Who's got a way smaller head than myself, and probably actually smaller than Jack's.
Just a little bit, but not much, luckily. Otherwise, I'd be in real trouble. Okay. So this kind of also gives me a really good idea of where everything is going to lie. So let's see what we get here. Okay, that looks pretty darn good. Let's start adding some tinfoil. And you want your tinfoil to add a majority of the bulk because you really want these to be light since they're going to be on your head. So just keep that in mind. And this also helps with the cost effectiveness as well, because tinfoil is cheap. you don't want to spend too much money on clay if you can cut a couple corners and save yourself the hassle in the long run. Alright, we're going to stop it right here. You can kind of see what we have going right now for the base. I'm going to work on it a little bit more, add some more tinfoil, and then we'll get started with adding the paperclip.